is.
Good evening, good evening.
Yes.
Good evening.
Well, Hayden Bruce Jones is the founder of SA Boxing Talk. So
Right.
just simply, that's the title I'm going with.
Okay, so tell us what SA Boxing Talk is all about.
Yeah, so SA Boxing Talk is an online boxing channel. The main platform is YouTube, where we show pretty much everything from pre-fight interviews, post-fight interviews, weigh-ins, in between camps of boxers, basically everything with regards to the boxers in their fighting camps. And we have the Facebook channel, which is pretty much the exposure link to the YouTube channel, the Twitter, and the Instagram. It's all the same. Instagram, we post more pictures that we take from ringside, but mainly it's the video platform.
And where did this idea start? Firstly, when did it start, and how did it come about?
So firstly, there was a separate show that I did with Colin Nathan. There was a hot boxing talk where we did in his gym, and from there I took a concept and thought, because Colin obviously got very busy from about 2016 onwards in terms of moving his boxers internationally. I went on the road and I decided, let me go to every single South African boxing gym. Obviously the idea and concept was taken from some countries like the UK and the USA, where guys are doing similar things. In South Africa it wasn't being done, so there's a gap in the markets. So that's where I came in, and I thought, how do we get the boxers out there? Because the boxers typically, they come in, they fight, they get paid, they go home. They don't know how to market themselves, they don't know how to do anything. So this is more of that marketing exposure, particularly for sponsors to come on board and just to basically get people to know who exactly they are.
And what has been the reaction from the boxing fraternity?
Well, I find, quite honestly, that it helps sell tickets to shows. I mean, before, there hasn't been many shows as of late, and I don't claim that this is solely SA Boxing Talk. There's a lot of people like yourselves on Vision View Radio, that people that listen, photographers that post up on Facebook. But particularly when last was a boxing tournament put on that where there wasn't a broadcasting. Boxing's on TV now more often, whether it be Supersport, SABC, Soweto TV, and so the reaction is quite good. All the promoters, well, I say most of them, Dida hasn't invited me, but
well, he knows you.
I'm inviting you now.
But so the tournaments and stuff to basically just promote the boxers on the tournaments. Type thing.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a very interesting concept.
This guy can think, eh?
Yeah.
You can think. He saw the gap in the market and he just went boom, and it's working. I actually look at his post but I didn't know it was you, man. And it's so interesting, Peter. I think South Africa needs that. Boxers in South Africa are not well marketed, and that's why they retire poor and all that, because they're not well marketed. And I think with this platform, boxers are gonna they're gonna feel very important now.
Yes, Well, earlier on we were listening to Pop Aram, Radio Rahim, so it's almost like you are a Radio Rahim of South Africa.
Yeah, it's something like
something
that.
Similar, yeah.
You know what? I don't want it to feel like I only come to the press conferences like Radio Rahim. That's what he does. I go to the boxing gyms, so I travel to also the boxers don't have to travel to come to me. Or I'm not saying you come to me. I go to the gyms. I make it possible for them, because I know that it is very hard, and I know that trainers also want to show off their gyms as well, managers and so forth. I do get contacted by the managers to also come in and do something. If they got a fight coming up in a month's time, they call me and please can we get this interview out there? And that's actually, it's very rewarding.
It is.
There were a lot of challenges in the beginning, but it's become a natural thing now.
Yes, and I hear that you've also worked with some international boxers. Can you share that with us? Which boxers?
Yeah, speaking about Otto Warden earlier, he actually he was in South Africa a while back when he came, when Mickey Nielsen came to fight Kevin Arena. He was Mickey Nielsen's chief sparring partner. Yeah. So he came out and did some sparring in the gyms here, so we caught up with him. Most recently we went to Saudi Arabia, and we followed Lerato Glamini's journey from South Africa to Saudi Arabia. Caught up with the likes of Paulie Malignaggi, Amir Khan, Hughie Fury, Samuel Peter, Billy Dibb. There's a lot of big names that we caught up with that side. It was really, really good information to learn, and from a promotional point of view, seeing what's being done there that isn't being done here, and why it's like a success that side, as opposed to why we always sort of starting here and not like pulling the crowds that we particularly want to pull. Okay, so you've interviewed these guys and you put it on
on YouTube.
Yeah, go straight to YouTube. You know, like,
Yeah.
some of the international names, you don't even have to sort of promote them. They just sell. They just
exactly.
sell themselves.
So themselves, yes, yeah.
Yeah.
And how did you find Pauline Manishnaji?
He was the most approachable guy.
Mm.
I actually was very surprised. I thought he would have been very offish. He just came off that bare knuckle brawl fight that he had. So he had his hand in a cast,
Yes.
and he was doing a little bit of hosting at the Saudi Arabia events. And I thought, you know what, he's going to be like a very posh guy. He's not going to want to speak. I approached him and said, Paulie, please can I get 5 minutes of your time? I actually want to talk about Lorenzo Glamini's fight.
Yes.
And then he did an analysis on that fight, and that's exactly what I wanted. I didn't want to go out there, because everyone there's about 1 million interviews with Paulie Van, actually the same questions. I wanted to ask about Lorenzo Glamini and sort of give him some light.
Yeah.
And against Dave Penaloza, who's also a very credible, I mean, Jerry Penaloza was his uncle, and he's got a lot of backing in the Philippines. So I asked Paulie, you know, what do you think about that? And then what about his fight? You know, just small things like that, something that will interest the South African spectators.
Yes, yeah. And I'm sure you watched him fight before, Paulie.
Yeah.
And what is your feeling?
Well, obviously Paulie doesn't pack a lot of power, as you know. He's just someone that's going to look to ground out a points victory against you. And yeah, Paulie was not the best to watch on the eye, but for some spectators, the purists in boxing, he could be, but not for me personally.
Yes, yeah. And he did become a world champion at some stage. So
Yes.
yeah. And what I noticed, which I didn't, for me really it wasn't so nice, was how he was used now as a stepping stone now. Later on in his life now, you know, boxers were coming up fighting him, and then that's right, yeah. And Amir Khan also, I'm sure you were, was it before or after his fight with Bellator?
So no, so I spoke to Amir Khan before, but there was a great moment, right? So Lorato had just won his fight for the WBC silver featherweight title.
Yeah.
As he was walking out, Amir Khan, because Lorato Glamini's fight got changed to the last fight of the evening due to logistical television things with the UK.
Yes.
Because the fight before had gone too long, so he got pushed to the fight after Amir Khan.
Okay.
As Lorato Glamini came out, Amir Khan said to him, he stopped Lorato. He says, listen, you boxed so well. You're coming back to Saudi Arabia when we come back again. And I thought that was such a big moment because it had that chest build. Like it was, because he has an entourage, Amir Khan, so it's like Amir Khan and about 50 people behind him following him, like making sure he's okay. And I'm pretty sure he had a bigger entourage than Rick Ross and Tiger that night, who were also performing there. So it's actually quite amazing that he stopped Lorato, and Lorato was like there with his WBC silver title, Bussy and Tolo was on the side. Colin was still coming, was still in the ring, talking to people. And just to that moment was just so surreal for him. And I don't know how, like sometimes a lot of people just say things and they don't come into fruition, but it just genuinely felt like Amir Khan was like watching Lorato's whole fight, and I thought, you know.
And that was before he fought himself?
So Amir had fought.
He already fought?
Yeah, he had fought and
stopped Bellator in the fourth round or so.
Yeah.
And then he watched Lorato's fight and stopped him after the fight and said, listen, I want you to come back after, when we fight here again.
Yeah, so I mean the Saudi Arabia thing is like a big thing now.
Yeah,
I mean, as you see, Anthony Joshua and Ruiz is being made there now. So the Saudi Arabian government is willing to invest in boxing, and I think if Lorato is lucky enough, he could be maybe on that card.
Sure.
Let's see how it goes.
No, you're right, and I tell you why you say that, because Amir Khan, yes, maybe his next fight, yes, he'll go fight there, but there hasn't been any fight scheduled for Amir Khan.
No, he was supposed to fight Manny Pacquiao actually in Saudi Arabia for that same date that Andrew Ruiz and Joshua got put in. So Eddie Hearn's really good at negotiating. So he got that fight date now. That fight was prematurely made before Pacquiao actually fought Thurman. They said no matter what happened in the fight, they were going to do it against Amir Khan.
So are you saying, wait, are you saying that the Aquana fight? Amir Khan and Pacquiao.
So from the Amir Khan side, they posted that. Pacquiao's team didn't agree to it though.
Yeah, they didn't agree.
So I don't know what's happening with regards to that. I don't think it's going to happen though.
Yeah. Because these two guys were former sparring partners. When they both
Freddie Roach.
Trained by Freddie Roach. Amir Khan and Manny Pacquiao.
But he's right.
Yeah, but from a boxing fan's point of view, who do you think will win that one?
I think Manny Pacquiao still, even at the age of 41. I think that he still packs it. You know, you saw the fight against Thurman. And Amir Khan, you know, historically cannot take a shot.
Yeah, he can take a shot.
And
take a shot. Yeah.
I'd hate to know what Prime Pacquiao would do. That would be scary.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't know. Yeah. So, but wait, did you get to speak to him?
I never did.
Later?
I never did an interview with him on camera.
Yes.
But it was very brief because Amir Khan's got about 10 bodyguards.
You're right. Yeah, a guy with so many bodyguards.
Yeah.
And,
Wow.
Yeah, and they come up and then it's just gonna happen.
And let's face it. Let's face it. Like if you're a South African boxing talk and you walk into Amir Khan, you're not just gonna get in like a Radio Rahim.
Yes.
Definitely, 100% is gonna get in there. They got
That's
chemistry.
Right. That's right. Yes.
So maybe next time. If we do it again.
No, good luck. Yes.
Yeah.
No, but yeah. So all your work now that whatever it's all on YouTube.
It's all on YouTube. Literally, it's SA, of course, short for South Africa, and
That's
then
right.
Boxing Talk.
Yeah. There you go, Dina. SA Boxing Talk.
Yeah.
You'll find all the interviews and that.
Yeah, I even
Hayden
saw
has
a clip of Van Herden's fight on that. Yeah, and that's so interesting. Now I'm gonna check it every day.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
That's a great platform, man.
Yeah. But now, for you, which ones were the highlights now? Where you can really tell maybe somebody's got like 4 of them just to choose. Top 4 in your interviews that you've done, yeah.
I like it when there's a shock. Obviously, I never interview, so I've got a policy, I never interview the loser. Because I've had a bad experience with that. So Tabiso Mchunu, when he had lost the first fight to Tommy, he didn't say anything in that interview. So from that day on, I haven't said. But best interviews, one of them would be Lorato Glamini straight after that fight, here in the dressing room. The first interview I did with Kevin Durina post fight was a very big one for the channel because Kevin Durina is a big draw card.
Yes, he is a draw card too.
Tommy Oosthuizen's return.
I did tell him Tony.
Yes.
The one that he won controversially. Yeah, okay.
And I'd say the biggest one was when Azinga Fuzile first came to Johannesburg. When he did the interview saying, "I'm still the son of East London."
Wow.
Yeah.
Azinga Fuzile.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay, so those are the ones for.
I don't want to count the international ones. I want to go for the South African ones because they mean the most for the
No,
channel.
it's fine. It's just, and I'm glad that you say that. But now, talking international, which ones now, in your opinion, now? Yeah, just look. We're not saying international versus local. No.
Yes.
We separate them, right? In your opinion, South African ones are the best, right? But on international level, which ones now really for you? I said, wow.
I really enjoyed the interview with Billy Dibb. Because he analysed how he was going to beat Amir Khan in that fight, and he didn't. I know he didn't beat him, but in his mind he didn't come to lose. He still came thinking, if I can actually beat Amir Khan, even though I'm a small guy, it opens up so many money fights because that welterweight division, as Dita was saying earlier, is a lucrative division. So he had an idea. Second was Samuel Peter. He's from Nigeria, and I had grown up watching him and his wars with Vladimir Klitschko. Just to see him in person was surreal when he popped up at the hotel because he was staying on the same level as me, and I was just like, wow, that's Samuel Peter right there. You know, like you've seen him on TV, but to actually see him in person, it's a totally different thing. So those two would stand out. There was an interview earlier on the channel that Colin had did with Joey Gamache as well, which was a very successful one. We also interviewed Brian Mitchell as well, but he was talking about international, so yeah.
Brian is international.
Yeah, but he's an international standard, so there we go.
International standard, yes, yeah.
So I'll get to know from you again. What do you wanna see these platforms that you conducting? What do you want to reach? What do you want to see happening in the platform? In terms of you obviously want to bring change in boxing, ne?
I think broadcasting
in South Africa. But what do you want to see your platforms achieving or reaching? I don't know if my question is...
No, it is. So we have subscriber goals that we do hit, and obviously there's projections as time goes on, it will increase a lot faster. What the idea is to grow with the boxes. So we're not going to grow on our own. It's impossible to grow on your own, because without the boxes there's no show.
Yes.
And as the boxes get better, so what's really rewarding, and as you're talking about moving up and where you're looking to go, because the show was young, we started with debutants from the beginning. The show started in 2015, and as we're progressing, I mean, I'll give you an example. I've done every single post-fight interview with Rowan Campbell. You know, he's got a young career. He's 11-0.
Yeah.
This last win was probably the biggest one.
Yeah.
Because a big surprise beating Patrick, especially the way he did.
Yes. Yeah.
And so where do I want to see it grow? I want to see it growing with the boxes. But there's a lot of projects on the go. A guy like Kevin as well. I think we started like 8-0 or something like that. So it's all dependent on the boxes. I don't think that we I don't have a show where I sit behind a mic and talk. You know, so it's very difficult to gauge. So if the boxes do well in South Africa, so will the show.
Of course.
That's basically how it goes.
Okay. No, I get it, because I was gonna ask you the question, how can one help? But you already answered it. It depends with the boxers.
Yeah, the views. I mean, exactly. I don't as I said. I don't sit behind the camera, so if people don't tune in to watch me, they tune in to see their favorite boxers, and
yes, right.
naturally, and that's another reason why I wish there was more of me, because when a guy comes up and he's got one person to speak to, he almost feels unappreciated. You know, all this hard work over the years.
You want to see all this crowd and everyone listening and clapping.
And unfortunately, now, actually, funny enough, ever since I started this, you got a lot more people coming in. There's other radio stations that also pop up in the dressing rooms. David Isaacson as well comes backstage, and we sort of do like a media scrum now on the big fights.
Exactly. You see, now that's your answer, Steve. Part of your answer. You see, you know what has happened now. Now suddenly you brought the limelight now on the boxers, and you're right. Yeah, I've also been in a situation like that. You see somebody, there are a lot of other journalists doing their own thing, and then suddenly you're interviewing somebody, and then wow, everybody rushes now and come now and put the mic and try to listen and also try to get interviews. Yeah,
and I think it irritates the interviewee as well, and interviewee as well. You know, I think when all the mics, all the questions. Where the interviewee doesn't hear, you know, as a let's say you lost a fight, Peter, that's going to irritate you if you have 100 people asking you questions.
Well, if you have lost, but like Hayden says, he doesn't. His policy doesn't interview the losers. Obviously, because the losers they're sore. You know, they don't want to talk about it. No one wants to talk about their loss. You know, they always want to talk about it.
I've got a great example of this, by the way. So John Bopape had fought Boyd Allen, right?
Yes.
And because of the circles, he's in Johannesburg. The show is primarily based in Johannesburg. Obviously, we are based around I'll tell you about that a bit later.
Yes.
But John Bopape had lost to Boyd Allen. He was very upset. So I came into the dressing room to interview a guy that had Gift Bolo. Gift Bolo beat a guy from Germany on the first time.
That's right.
I came in to interview Gift Bolo afterwards, and John Bopape was still sitting in the room with an ice pack on his head, and he was very upset. And then he came back the next fight and he beat Ricky Shabalala at the John Marable Hall. And he sat down and he said, "It's now time for my interview. Thank goodness I won." And he's like, "I'm so happy. I wanted just to say my thing."
Yes.
And he made such a powerful statement actually. He said, I asked John, who do you want to fight? He's like, "I'll fight anyone. I don't have a promoter. I'll take anything."
Yeah.
So it almost grips your heart a little bit.
No, it's true.
But he got his moments, and that's it's sort of it gives you goosebumps thinking about it. I like him.
Yeah, and there's another answer again. You know, what do you want to achieve, or what is the objective of this? Yes, also it boosts the boxers' self-esteem.
Yes,
you know, they've won, and then suddenly they are interviewed, and I think you must tell them that, look, this is going to be on YouTube. So people can look in there and then watch. You can also watch themselves.
Yeah.
You can also watch themselves now being interviewed. I think it's a great initiative. You know?
And Hayden, you know what? Not everybody can think about what you know. This it's amazing. I actually love it. But how do you make revenue out of this?
It's a good question, and that's the first thing everyone asks me. Every time I pitch up to it's good that you ask that now, because I mean, obviously, I'd like to put it out there. The show doesn't generate much in revenue at all.
Right.
There's no sponsors on the show. There's no. We briefly had advertisers, but it was for a very brief, and it's based on events, not a monthly advertiser. It's just someone that said, "Hey, can we get involved with the show?" And that sort of thing. Once you pass 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, you do start to get revenue. South African advertisers, I can tell you, do not pay very well.
Wow.
We're looking at something about 200 Rand a month max on the current platform. if it's on the level of Radio Raheem, it's a monthly salary, which is nice.
Yeah.
But subscribers are currently sitting at just over 1,500, so not a lot. So in terms of revenue, this is done more as a passion project.
That's good, man.
But having said that, following up on Dita's question, how do you think now we can improve on revenue? Or what needs to happen? I mean, we don't know. Whoever is listening,
Yeah.
there are people listening on the radio station, they might want to get involved, and then what's in it for them, maybe, yes, if somebody was to get involved and then put in money?
Yeah, firstly, the easiest route to us is either contact us on the Facebook or Instagram page. It's the best way to direct message us.
Okay.
What do they gain out of it? They gain exposure. As do boxers, as does everyone that works for SA Boxing Talk. It's basically exposure. That's primarily what it is. There's no guaranteed number that we hit every month, so it's very difficult to say, hey, listen, we're hitting 50,000 views this month, X, Y, and Z.
Yes.
But if we're having a good month, we can tell you, listen, there's a nice event coming up. Do you want to get involved in this?
Depends on the event.
Yes.
It's a good event coming up. Obviously, everybody.
But have you? Because I think it could be BSA's business, and you'll be helping BSA. Actually, you are helping BSA.
No,
But
everybody, BSA promoters,
Yeah.
boxers, everybody.
Yeah, but
whole project fertility.
but have you approached them about have you proposed this to them?
To BSA?
Yeah, already.
Oh, no, not at all.
I think there's an idea. There's an idea you approach BSA, because now you see BSA, they've got connections with all boxing people, like the promoters, trainers, whatever. So
Because,
even
yeah.
advertisers,
Yeah.
just come in.
Because I think BSA has their own page, but their
That's
page
right,
is
yes.
not. I think there's no one who's managing the page. I think
Yes. It's Betley.
someone who's managing the page has his own job at BSA and it's not specifically a media job, Yeah. So I think if Hayden approaches them, that will help, And I don't think he'll be unreasonable in getting money, Yeah, I think he'll ask for just good money.
Yes.
Or whatever that they will give him, because I think this
That's
would
a
help.
good
You
idea.
cannot work
Yeah.
and
Because
he's
if
doing
you
a
want
great
some
job.
names after the show, yes, I'll tell you now the names that we can speak to.
I speak to Lejaka quite often. We've met on a few occasions actually.
Right, yeah.
I'd love to get an interview with him actually. Put him
Yes.
on. We've done it once. There was an event at Emperor's Palace, but it was a very brief
It's a
interview.
brief one
Yeah.
after the fight, yeah.
Yeah.
We'd like to do it. But what did he say? When you speak to him, what does he say?
Never spoken about business, only about boxing. So the boxing side of things, basically, there was a fight at Tabiso and Tommy, and basically the question was, who do you think's going to win? He's like, I can't say who's going to win. I'm a South African guy. They're both South African boxers.
Official and everything, yes,
Yeah.
Mm.
So that was basically, it was like a snippet. So there was a lot of things happening that day. We were interviewing fans. There was another boxer, Chris Thompson, and then it was him.
Peter, it's easy with passion. With passion you can open any door, because you're not, with passion you're not expecting, and you just expect to be acknowledged.
You're right.
Only there.
A lot of people say that, okay, just follow your passion and then the
money will come. Yeah, and,
Yes.
and I think that's what will happen.
Mm.
Because I think this is a great concept.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I like it. I really like it. Yes.
Boxing needs this.
Yeah, boxing
Yeah.
is this. Yes.
It does, yeah.
And talking about that, in your next tournament, I think you must invite Hayden.
He's my guy. He's my guy.
That's right, yeah. And say, look, this is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And now very interesting, Hayden. And yeah, I'm very glad to hear that. So, just to repeat those links again, how do people now, whatever, SA?
It's AXA, so they can go on to the main platform's YouTube. That's obviously where we put out all the videos. You just go on YouTube, type in SA Boxing Talk. It'll be the first. It'll be the first thing that pulls up.
Yeah.
The logo is a boxing glove with a circle around it.
Yeah.
Pretty easy to find. I think it'll be the first thing. I don't think anyone else has SA Boxing Talk. I hope not. But it'll be the first thing that pops up.
Yeah.
And then, Instagram. We're on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all the main platforms.
Yeah. This is great, man. This is great. And you saying the reason you came with this concept is because you saw a gap. Overseas, there are these platforms, but here there wasn't, right?
Yeah, I mean the biggest challenge in South Africa is data, and that's to get to a South African boxing sport. And we all know that boxing supporters aren't necessarily the most wealthy supporters. Historically, boxing's you can see by the supporters that come out to events that it's to go to an Empress Palace event and to go to a Kwatemba event, for example, is two different crowds.
Yeah, it's two
different crowds completely.
It's true.
And you often see that one's true boxing supporters and one's a business sort of min crowd. So it's hard to hit the boxing supporters that are obviously can't afford data and that sort of thing. And that's the guys that I want to get to. But how do you get to those guys? It's very difficult. Speaking about before I don't want to miss this part.
No, it's fine. Yeah.
Is there are 4 of us in SA Boxing Talk. I'm just the founder.
Right.
There's a photographer that we have. He's based in Gauteng. We have a Cape Town representative who's covering the tournament tonight. That's Brass Promotions, and then we have someone in London who covers the boxers that go to the UK, like Zolani Tete. Rock Knapp was there not too long ago. Luther Clay, he's I don't know if you've heard of him. He was born in South Africa, but he's very British.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
so now we want to claim him now. So,
exactly. If he's good.
Yeah, he's good. Yes, of course.
And Duma Lamatu, who recently moved there. So we've been getting those interviews over there, making sure that they can get content in their gyms. Because also, otherwise I have to do a Skype interview with them.
Exactly.
And then, so luckily we have someone on the floor there.
Wow. So, going to gyms, you use your own money. Like when you're doing interviews at gyms, you're using your own money.
Yeah, the most challenging thing is the petrol between the boxing gyms, but I try not to make it about that. I always make it about the boxer. And the best thing to try to do is to make it a good situation. If you're going to a boxing gym and there's 3 guys better than 1 guy, obviously, because you're trying to make your petrol
you
worth it.
obviously make a call first.
Oh, no,
and that's money.
Look, I WhatsApp people.
Okay.
So I try to save it there. Yeah, I WhatsApp usually trainers because I feel that they the right people to go through. If I do know the boxer personally, which I do know most of them personally, I message them as well. So I usually message the boxer, are you ready to do an interview on this day? And then afterwards I'll message the trainer just to confirm whether it's possible to do it at their convenience.
That's amazing, man. That's amazing.
Yes.
This is true passion, man. This is
And you spoke about Colin Nathan earlier on.
Yes.
That you were working with him or whatever. He's busy. He's now doing international fights now. And do you get to speak to some of those boxers that fight on Africa Rumble?
Yeah. So the plan is now to go to the Eastern Cape, hoping that comes off, because that's a humongous ball that's coming our way. The Azinga Fuzile and all the people that get to benefit from being on that undercard, that international exposure.
Sure.
All the guys based in Johannesburg, yes. I don't have an Eastern Cape representative, and that's something that I'm trying to work on, because I know that's sort of what they say is the mecca of boxing in the Eastern Cape. I know there is a guy in the Eastern Cape though. I don't know the name of the channel, but there is an Eastern Cape channel. It's not in English though, which can sometimes, which to the international audiences can, obviously, so you're capping your sort of reach to the Eastern Cape region. But there is a channel there. But ultimately, if we can get someone in the Eastern Cape, so people overseas can also have a look at what's happening in South Africa.
This is gonna fly.
This is interesting.
Yeah.
So, your next tournament is where?
The 25th of October.
October, there you are.
Yeah, and
so I'm definitely invited.
Definitely invited.
You're definitely invited.
To the sport. Who's just to talk quickly about it. Who's the
Prince Domo is heading. He's fighting. He's fighting a new prospect from the Eastern Cape. He's fighting under the ban of Rumble Africa.
Rumble Africa. Okay.
Yeah.
And but it's like Prince Domo is the main part.
Yeah. It's an ABU type.
Which division?
Junior welterweight, super light.
He's moved to junior welterweight because he was struggling yesterday.
Yeah, he's lost opportunities. He's won fights, but he never won a title, man.
Yeah, because
title fights, but he never got a title because he was always overweight.
Oh, that makes sense.
And what about Tato Bunukwa?
Tato Bunukwa is fighting Apiwe I forgot the,
on
the surname,
on
but
the undercard.
yeah, but Tatu is obviously rated number 2 after this fight is a title fight, a SA title fight.
Yeah.
After the winner between Somjika and
Sonjika.
yeah,
Yeah.
Sonjika.
Sonjika.
Oh, is it Ka?
Yeah, Sonjika. Sonjika.
Yeah, it's Ka. yeah, and Innocent Mantengu.
Innocent Mantengu.
Yeah, will definitely
fight,
yeah, but
Tatu.
we promoting Innocent Mantengu, so we'll be there. And Azinga is heading the fight, right?
The bill.
The bill, yeah.
Yes.
He's
Okay.
heading the bill.
Alright.
So we will be there.
It was a
Yeah.
bit of a shame for Captain Charisma after that last fight. I thought he won the fight personally. When I was watching at home, I did feel that Tato won the fight, but it wasn't given to him.
Yeah, and a lot of people are saying that, except for a very few. But I was a boxer, and when you in the ring, you don't see what people outside see. So I felt he won, but it's fine.
Mm.
So it's not
it
just because you were in
happens
the corner
boxing.
or anything like that, huh?
No, yeah, because I saw the fight.
No, but yeah, I did feel he didn't do enough for. I mean, he did enough for it to win, but it wasn't exactly a close fight either.
It was
Yeah.
That's what upset me
everybody's
the
saying
most.
that. Yeah, everybody's saying that. But he's fine. I hope that didn't affect him, because sometimes boxers get affected when they lose fights that they won.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And right now, man, you know what? I appreciate your presence in the boxing fraternity, and I think you are doing a great job, because I've been thinking that boxing is this, because people promoters don't have time and knowledge to market their, only a very few can market their own tournaments, and and that's where you come from. We need you, man. The promoters need you, boxing need you, and I think you're gonna make a great impact, and it's just a matter of time, because this is very relevant, Peter.
Yes, yeah. Maybe that's what sponsors are looking for, because there were sponsors in boxing and they pulled out, because I think in their opinion they're not getting the coverage. But now with this YouTube thing, now with what you're doing, I've got a feeling they're already coming back.
It's great.
They've got to be coming back. Yeah.
I'm gonna do as well. Everything in my power to help you, Hayden, with the data. Because you need that. You need a lot of data to
watch
make
all the
that
videos.
effective. Yeah. And I'm gonna try and talk to friends, see if we cannot help you. I'm not
Try to see.
so promising anything. I'm positive, but I will do everything in my part, because what you're doing for boxing.
for boxing
Man, we
is
love
great.
boxing. This is the
Yes.
only thing we know.
Mm.
We started, a lot of us actually started this, as young as 10. This is the only thing we know. And even Peter, he's been in boxing, man, since I was maybe since before I was born. Because some things you talk about, I don't know them.
No, but I
Yeah.
a lot. I go into the archives and then research. I mean, I know.
But you
boxes-
met people in the
Normally-
80s, Peter.
Yeah.
You met people in the 80s.
Yeah.
Where I wasn't there. I was there. in the 80s.
Yeah.
You know-
No. He's talking. Yeah, because look, I was telling him earlier on before we started the show that I've met guys like Sugar Ray Leonard, interviewed him.
Oh.
Tommy Hanks himself, Muhammad Ali, George Foreman, Sugar Ray Leonard, and the
Big
surprising
names.
thing when I was telling him was now when Sugar Ray was here, he came here, Sugar Ray Leonard. He was hosted by Caesar's Palace. It was still called Caesar's Palace.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, but then they changed to Empress Palace. And he was there, and when I read this book, I realized that actually when he was here, he was completely sloshed, because he
That's
was
a shame.
doing drugs and then well, but to us it was like, well, this is Shuare Leonard, and then, you know.
He has one of the best books though.
Yeah, he got a book,
I
exactly.
love the fact that he
Yeah,
documents
the
his
fact.
amateur career as well as his professional career. It's an amazing book.
That's right, yes, yeah. So when I read the book after, then I read, okay, but so when he was here interviewing him here, this is how the guy was, yeah. But he's fine now, he's doing okay.
Another thing that you said, Peter, you say he was handsome. He's handsome as you, which is which is great as a boxer. I mean,
yeah, when you look at him in real life, wow, man, he's unbelievable, man. It's much better. The same way, by the way, with Leila Ali.
Hey,
When she came here,
talking about
also
Leila.
came here. Yeah, she came here and then to fight when Mandela was still alive, and then Mandela came to the fight. And then she came, and then whatever. Oh man! So it's a short.
I hope your wife is not listening to this.
No, a short story about her. Beautiful woman. I mean, she's incredible. So she came in, and I was waiting for another radio station, 702, and then I was doing interviews, and then whatever they were interviewing me about whatever. So I could not stop talking about her beauty and everything on air. So David O'Sullivan was hosting the show. Set me up and then said, okay, there's a caller on the line, and there was a lady. And this lady, Peter, since you talked about this woman, you've never spoken about boxing, just can't start talking about her beauty. If I was your wife, you was gonna sleep in the lounge, And I said, but I can't help it, this woman is just so beautiful. You don't look at, you don't see a boxer.
Oh man.
You just see like a beautiful woman. Yeah, but she came here, she fought, and then she won in the first round.
Yeah.
Fought in the first round. And people are joking and said that it took Madiba longer to walk into the ring than the fight itself.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. If ever maybe at that time we had SA boxing talk like we have right now, man would have had like a nice footage. Yeah, but just all voices, and they're somewhere in the archives. Yeah. And another person, by the way, was Michael Paffer. Michael Paffer was
the commentator, the ring announcer.
Michael Paffer, was doing the Bongo Nassim Ahmed fight. So I interviewed him, and I got him to say, and listeners of South Africa, let's get ready to rumble.
Wow.
Did he charge you an arm and a leg for that though?
Did you what?
Did he charge you an arm and a leg for that?
No, he didn't charge. He was just an interview. Roy Jones Jr. interviewed Roy Jones Jr. had a thing with him.
Wow.
A lot of great.
So Peter, you're probably like the old SA boxing talk. Then.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Could be SA talk exactly right.
So I'm here to take you passing the torch.
Exactly, passing the torch.
As an encyclopedia, man. I ask him a lot of things. He's got answers.
Answers and everything else. Okay, gentlemen, yes, very, very interesting. Yeah, but thanks very much, really. It was very nice coming to our show, talking about your platform. And anyone listening there, guys, please, Hayden would really love to partner with anybody who wants to come in and then and sponsor the show. We hear that he's doing this thing of passion and he's using his own money, to run around. But this is what exactly boxing needs.
Yeah.
We really need something like that, and it's gonna be great. Yeah.